doing. And I don't see him doing that. I mean, he hasn't let Gwarthilas out of prison, you know, Leonard Peltier. He hasn't pardoned Mumia Abu-Jamal. And so far as I'm concerned, where I work, if nothing's changed, I'm not interested. In fact, the way he talks, things are going to be worse for schools. He's talking about merit pay for teachers.
Right.
Well, that makes sense if you give me meritorious students. If you don't, then I can't get merit pay, so it doesn't make sense for me.
Yeah.
So where the rubber meets the road in my life, I'm not impressed.
Yeah, and I get that from, you know, from people of color. You know, we thought, oh, you know, let's put this person in office. We're glad to see it happen.
Oh, absolutely.
And then, okay, we're waiting. We're still waiting.
I mean, when he did that thing about, yes, we're going to wind down the war in Iran, but then he ratchets up in Afghanistan, that's not what we're looking for. That's not why we voted for you, sir. It really isn't.
Yeah, that's true. So let's talk about yourself as being an educator. Mm-hmm. You know, you've been, you know, you're very well known in the community as being able to engage students, and to the point you have people coming to your class that aren't even enrolled in your class.
True. I always have to ask people, are you supposed to be somewhere else?
Yeah.
And because I can't do that. If they're supposed to be in another class and come to my room, like, why are you hiding out here? But that's been my experience. They hear something about me, and they want to come see, and then they just want to stay. I'm like, take me next semester, okay?
Yeah.
Go to your class. But people that have an open period, they just come hang out. It's regular.
So what is your secret behind getting these kids and to be more, I think, more critical thinkers, and it's a lot of the material that you're presenting?
Well, you know, I start with the California standards because that's the law, but they don't tell me how to teach it. So when I went to UCSB, I think I was given very good advice in the teacher education program. You're going to have to use what we've learned from psychologists, from sociologists, from all the ologists, the social scientists, everybody, that shows us how people learn, why people learn. Use that and build your lesson plans from that. So I call myself a constructivist because I construct an environment into which they enter. So we may be someplace else, in another place.
Yeah.
We may have to be some other people today. And for some reason, they seem to like that and can grow from it. But see, the thing is, they think that I'm allowing them to make their own knowledge. But I've set the plan and I've set the room in such a way that I manipulate them, and that's the word I must use because that's what I'm doing, manipulate them to a particular conclusion that's in the California standards.
Right.
They think they make it themselves, and that's why they remember. If I just tell you something, maybe you remember it, maybe not. But if you think you came to your own conclusion given these set of facts and you think about them and like, oh yeah, well, you'll always remember it because you own it. It's yours.
Right.
And I think that's the only difference.
I think, too, just to be able to engage and lecture, it's really hard to read a book and just maintain it in your, in your memory, but to actually, talk about it.
Participate.
Yeah, it's about participation.
They're not empty glasses, and I'm not the big filled pitcher, and I just pour something into each one of them. They come with something. I'm trying to enhance that.
Yeah. So is there any reason, that you chose to be a teacher in the high school as opposed to, like the college level?
Not particularly. I think I didn't choose to be a teacher. I was sent. This is my mission. This is my assignment. So I feel I have to do a good job, especially since now I have 10th graders, and that's the year most students drop out of high school. I figure I have to bring my A game every day to keep them in, because for some reason, if they finish 10th grade, they'll finish high school.
Yeah.
This is the year that makes or breaks, apparently.
Well, that's good. That's good to know.
I'm trying.
Well, that's great. You're doing, you've done a good job. I've heard really, several comments about the work you're doing and just the stuff that people have gotten out of being in your classroom.
I used to get a lot of parents coming when I was at Dos Pueblos. I haven't had that too much at Santa Barbara, but at Dos Pueblos, I used to get some parents to hang out. I'm like, is everything okay? No, I just wish you'd been my history teacher when I was in high school.
Exactly.
But I'm getting it now. I'm
exactly.
Like, okay.
So we're getting ready to close here, but can you talk about, you have an upcoming event Let's talk about that real quick.
This is a yearly event that started in Africa. Originally, it was called African Freedom Day because between the mid-50s and the early 60s, you saw 2/3 of African nations throw off the chains of colonialism. So Kwame Nkrumah in Ghana said, we need to celebrate this. Over the years, it's changed. Today, we call it African Liberation Day because we're not just looking back, celebrating the death of colonialism. We're looking forward to the death of imperialism, globalization, capitalism, and the freeing of the entire continent. So every year, the Sunday, or so, actually this year, the Saturday closest to May 25, because that was the original date. So for us this year, it'll be the 22nd. We'll be at Cal State, LA, and we have an international panel where we have AIM and several other international groups struggling for liberation. We'll have a student panel, seeing what's happening on all the Southern California, campuses, so far as students having, progressive thoughts and actions. And we'll have a little food and a little music and just, learn from one another, support one another.
Okay, that's wonderful. So, it's going to be May 22nd, is that?
At Cal State, LA, in the Fine Arts Building.
Okay. I don't know if it would be in past tense by the time this is aired, but, in seeing this show, we're going to put it up on YouTube as well. Just know that this is an annual event. Matef is actually including his contact information, so he's there to answer any questions that you have.
Absolutely.
And just to keep you on the calendar for next year if you miss this year. So thank you, everybody. It's been wonderful having Matef here. I'm encouraging everybody, the YouTubes are up. We've added some new YouTubes recently, and please comment on them. We'd like to get any suggestions. Always free to any comments that you have or any suggestions that we have for upcoming shows. But thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, Roberta.
It was nice having you.
Appreciate it.